following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lord. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
Mickey in a very jovial mood on this fantastic Football Friday edition of Talking Cowboys as the Cowboys play the Atlanta Falcons in the home of the Super Bowl on Sunday at noon Dallas time. Bill Jones, Mickey Spagnola, Rob Phillips, Brian Broaddus. Brian and Rob are hard at work over there as we get set for another edition and get you set for the big game on Sunday. And it is a big game, not only for the Cowboys, but also for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, it is a huge game for the Falcons. You know, you got teams, if you look at what happened last night, you know, with the Seahawks winning and the Packers losing, I mean, these are teams that are kind of looking at wild card situations for the playoffs. So, you know, you don't want to fall behind in any way in that. So, both teams trying to get back to 5-5 is an absolute must.
You were probably pulling for Green Bay last night if you're a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, because you already took an L against Seattle.
If it gets down to head-to-head. But, look, I think we've talked about it. You got to take care of business in your division. That's the best. You got to go win.
Got to go win.
But your best chance is to catch Washington.
Yeah.
And stop. Don't think about wild card and all that kind of stuff. Just go win your division. And it's still possible, believe it or not.
You can catch Washington in 6 days.
Yeah, you could.
By Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, the Cowboys could be in first place, but we can't get ahead of ourselves, can we?
One game at a time,
right.
Bill. You got to focus on Sunday, the Falcons.
That's right. Is it the Falcons or the Falcons?
The Falcons?
The Falcons?
I saw a falcon once.
I'm sorry.
Awesome, Mick.
I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen a falcon flying in the sky?
Yeah, we played at Air Force one time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They've got a great pregame.
Yeah, the guy flew in from the. I said a guy.
It
could have been a
landed-
gal. Could have been a
landed
gal falcon.
successfully?
Very successfully. Yes, that's where at the Air Force Academy they pride themselves on landing successfully.
And thank God for that.
Yes, and thank God they're all there for us.
I'll indulge you. I can't believe I'm doing this. Where did
Where
you
did you
see
see
a falcon, Mickey?
Yeah. He went to the Auburn game, or is that a War Eagle?
That's a War Eagle.
On a kayak trip around the Channel Islands
Okay.
in California. You know, outside of Oxnard and Ventura.
Okay.
There's the Channel Islands out there.
How did you know it was a falcon?
The tour guide said it was a falcon. And I saw it.
Mickey, a back-to-nature guy.
The fastest bird on the universe.
Is it really?
Yes.
On the universe.
Yes. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
No, just the phraseology.
I didn't know you
was
could go
funny.
to kayaking trips while we're at training camp.
I didn't. I went on vacation there before training camp.
Oh.
These are pretty busy days, you know? I don't know how you fit that in.
Shoot a couple of Ford spots and go kayaking. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
And I saw the fastest whale, too,
Or did you?
on the same day.
Maybe there needs to be an NFL team called the Whales.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did you go
Las Vegas whales.
Just go hang out with the cheetahs, maybe see the fastest land animal or anything like that?
I think we saw... No, there was nothing. I saw a red fox.
He was a good actor back in the
Yeah,
day,
he was.
comedian.
Yeah.
Sanford and Son.
Hell yeah.
You ever see a wild red fox?
I've seen Sanford and Son.
That's right. He
Love
was pretty
that show.
wild.
No, I have never seen a wild red.
See? It was a triple hitter there.
It was. And it was like more than just
Were
a
you filming an
Mickey's
episode of
minute there. It was-
Wild Kingdom or something like that? What were you doing? You
know
Marlon
what?
Perkins hanging out somewhere?
It happened. You guys ought to try it. It happened to be a really cool kayak trip because it was in and out of the caves on the Channel Island.
We'll
See
have
a
to try
bat-
that sometime.
Bat in the cave?
Maybe
bats.
Jason Garrett could take the team on a field trip at training camp
That's
next
right.
year.
Instead of just going to the beach.
That's right.
You know, do something
Yeah.
wild.
Okay, Mickey.
We gotta
Or
talk
maybe we
football?
need someone else to do an injury report.
Yeah, let Rob
How was
do
that
it.
practice yesterday?
Practice was better from an injury standpoint. Largely unchanged because you still got from Wednesday because you still had 6 guys sitting out. a lot of defensive linemen, but you did have 2 starting offensive linemen, Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, back to practice on a limited basis. And I believe Malik Collins was limited as well. So that, you would think, helps your numbers a little bit on the D-line heading into Sunday.
Very good.
That
And
covered
not,
all, Mick?
and not surprising on the offensive lineman getting back out there.
No, I mean, unless
Got to have them.
Tyron's back,
Yeah, that was the
flare up
concern.
again.
That when he wakes up with back spasms, that's always a concern.
You never know when that's going to happen. That's the thing about dealing with those. And so, it flared up during the week instead of the weekend, which, you have to feel like that's, maybe you dodge a bullet. But if it's starting to reoccur a little bit, I worry about that.
After last year,
Yeah.
just put a board in his back and send him out there and let him stand there.
Does he do yoga during the season too, or is it just an off-season thing?
I think I don't know the answer to that question. I know that he was really adamant about it during the off season. He and Lyle Collins were both going to California, and then they got the lady that was involved that was coming out in Oxnard. So, didn't you do a story about her?
Yes.
Okay.
She would not do an interview though.
Yeah, she wouldn't do an
Makes
interview.
it difficult to do a
Don't let
story.
that stop you from doing a
I
story.
did the story anyway.
Yeah, but no, I don't think that I don't know that for sure. I'm sure that he has stretching routines and stuff that he does here, but yeah, he was adamant that lady helped him quite a bit with his core flexibility. So we'll see.
Let's get to the bad news on the injuries.
Yeah, you
get to
want
it.
to get your umpire thumb ready? All right,
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee, Tavon Austin, Taco Charlton,
David Irving,
Daniel Ross,
I'm calling out. Yeah,
Antoine Woods.
I think he's got a chance.
yeah, that's the one you need to keep an eye on.
He worked pretty hard on his own outside, doing conditioning work, and my understanding was he was heading to the doctor to have it checked, the concussion protocol. So
So you do the heavy work and then go check to see if you have any symptoms. Is that kind of how that works?
See if there's any residual effects from the work, and we should probably get a little clearer picture. But with that, I mean, you can take it right up to game time.
Yeah.
I mean, they can check you on Saturday.
Yeah.
But so the deal is, though, you got to get cleared.
Yeah, but the problem they're running into is, though, to go all the way up to game time, do they have to activate Christian Ringo? Because they're going to need, with all the guys that you guys just said are out, David Irving out.
Most likely, yeah.
Ross out.
Yeah, but then you got to cut somebody.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, how you can't go up to game time with
3
that.
o'clock Saturday.
3 o'clock Saturday. So if they're going to have to make a determination on him today or tomorrow, by the time they get on that airplane to go to Atlanta, or you guys get on the plane to go to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's if the human law can't go, that's tough. Now the Falcons don't really want to run the football. They really don't. They're not interested. They'll do it on second down. But you need his presence, and having Reed and Ringo. I mean, we know nothing about Ringo, Christian Ringo. He's a practice squad guy.
68, right?
Yeah. So you're getting in. You start talking about, okay, now you're trying to go win a game. Like I always call a must-win game to kind of keep your season going kind of the right way. Mm-hmm. That you're using Christian Ringo as one of your rotational defensive tackles, and I understand that. You practice squad. You got to use those guys sometimes. I mean, look what Suafilo went on the practice squad, but he came from really just being inactive every week and played very well. And it's going to start for you this week. So, I'm
forgot
concerned.
Connor Williams in that whole deal.
Yeah, Connor Williams.
Who is practicing so far this
Right.
week.
I don't think he's ready to play.
Yeah.
No,
So you expect him to be inactive?
I would
Sunday?
say yes.
Yes.
Go with the same.
Or
personnel?
maybe he's the
backup
backup
and go
instead
heavy.
of Red. Well, no, Redmond's got to be active
because he's
right?
the center.
'Cause he's the center. So,
The one that practiced yesterday that I heard was Joe Thomas.
He's been back this week, the linebacker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
he was
Thomas.
limited
So
first
you have
week.
to see if Joe Thomas might be on that inactive list. Do they've been working Covington in that group, and maybe they feel good enough about Covington going forward. But Joe Thomas would be a nice addition back. Speaking of linebackers, Atlanta gets back Deion Jones. That's going to help them.
Big get back for them.
Yeah, there's a team that gives up a bunch of yards per play, early downs, like 6.9 a play. Imagine that on first down, giving up that. That plays right into Dallas's hands if they can find a way to to win on early downs, keep them ahead of the chains. What's the biggest problem they have when they get behind the chains, right?
No question about it.
And their biggest problem of late has been run defense.
Yeah.
211 yards, Cleveland. Now, I know they got 92 on one run.
They did. But
still.
You're right. You're right.
That's Cleveland. Ran for 211 yards, and I was reading about how the all the defensive coordinator's been saying all week is Ezekiel. So,
They have to be
go
worried.
ahead.
Yeah.
Concentrate on them, and you want to go one-on-one with the receivers.
That's a big problem for them, too.
Because their cornerbacks aren't real good.
Nope. That is the truth.
30th in pass defense.
Yeah.
And that's that element we haven't really talked about this year is the whole pick your poison type thing, right?
Well, it hasn't,
Like Amari Cooper's going to win. He's going to win on the outside. I feel good about Cole Beasley. You got Michael Gallup coming on.
Going home,
All of a
by
sudden,
the way.
Yeah. Went to high
Atlanta
school, I think 50 miles from Atlanta, something like that.
Never got to play in the big house.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see if the Cowboys can carry over this momentum, and I think it starts up front. We talked about Connor Williams. Suafilo was productive at left guard. So maybe they found something there if indeed he sticks in the lineup. That's the way it seems to be looking so far.
Yeah.
You look at the Falcons, and one of the big reasons they've had issues in their secondary is the loss of Keanu Neal, their safety.
Big-time player.
Yeah.
Big-time player. But I'll tell you what, though, this DeMonte Kazee has
5 picks.
has played well. Now, his a couple of his picks, the pick he had last week against the Browns was a throwback. They tried to throw the ball back to Baker Mayfield, and it was a wounded pass. But he's been
because you're not going to pick off Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, no, of course. But now maybe you're going to cover Baker Mayfield because they covered him well on that play. But yeah, they've struggled. Trufant has struggled, and Alford. I just think that if you watch this game, keep an eye on number 23 for the Falcons because he cannot cover. And he cannot cover. He proved he can't. You look at Michael Thomas. You watch that game against the Saints. Michael Thomas had 10 targets, 10 catches. A lot of them were against him. You go back and watch A.J. Green play. He can't handle a receiver that's a really good route runner and a finisher. So, if Dallas misses an opportunity to get Cooper, this could be a big game for Cooper. If you want Bill, your pick the click guy, keep Amari Cooper in mind if you're thinking about a guy. Because he's got a shot. If they match him up against this guy, they've got a shot to make some plays. Now, that's Dak getting him the football. We'll see.
Baker Mayfield's thrown 7 interceptions.
I know. I'm just teasing.
To 6 touchdowns.
Ooh, that's not – but – well, he was really bad then before last week because he had 3 touchdown passes and no picks last week. That's a rookie quarterback for you.
I said it earlier in the week, though. This is where the Falcons have struggled, though. I think it's 6 straight games where they've given up 3 passing touchdowns.
Wow.
I mean, if you go in the game and say, Dak Prescott's going to have 3 passing touchdowns,
yeah.
I mean, gosh, we'd be doing cartwheels up and down.
So what's the better chance? Dak Prescott has 3 passing touchdowns or Dak Prescott gets sacked 8 times Sunday?
I think it's the passing touchdowns.
3 for sure.
Yeah, I don't see Atlanta really rushing the passer all that well, and watch me, it's going to come back and haunt me for saying that. But I don't see them. I don't see Vic Beasley having the type of season they expected him to have. I don't see, McKinley having they drafted McKinley in the first round. I mean, he's had a very similar. I think people would say, okay, him or the Cowboys would say him or Taco. I mean, they've expected a lot more from that guy, and they just haven't got it in the way. I mean, 17 sacks for the season? Mm-hmm. Hell, they had 8 against you last year in this game, right?
Right.
I just don't see that happening again.
I don't know if
it does, they'll lose the game, and I'll be real wrong about it.
I don't know if we'll ever see anything quite like that again, because I don't think they would allow that to continue happening as long as it did.
I saw 11 twice.
Aikman.
And then before that, San Diego
but
against Pelur or something like that.
But I'm talking about from pretty much the same guy.
Oh, the same guy.
Yep. And they got into halftime and they thought they could kind of settle it down and correct it, and they didn't make an adjustment. And the coaches have admitted that's on us and with Chaz.
And part of that probably was it was a 10-7 game at the half, and so you get a false sense of security.
Yeah, it was 17-7 going into the fourth quarter.
That was something else. You know,
couldn't do anything offensively though.
They scored on the first possession and didn't score again.
yeah.
Mickey's right. If you get Julio Jones with 6 catches and 50 some odd yards,
Sign me up.
Big time, sign me up. But just don't let some of these other guys hurt me as well, though.
You know, Dak's quarterback rating, he's better than Alex Smith, Dalton, Mariota, Mayfield, Bortles, Flacco.
What is his rating?
90.8. And Eli Manning's 92.7. So he's not that far off. If it's getting better, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think, and this is an opportunity if you.
Yes.
I'm with Mickey, though. I'm with Mickey on running the football in this thing. Maybe, though, this would be Atlanta's plan to stop your run if they can, and see if Dak Prescott can be accurate enough throwing the football. If you were Atlanta, if you were their defensive coordinator, if you were Markel Manuel, I think it says Markel Manuel, I think is how you say his first name. If you were to him, how would you attack Dallas offensively or defensively? What plan would you go with?
Well, I mean, based on what we've seen from other teams, it's exactly what you said. I mean, they'd load up, they try to stop Zeke and say beat us in the passing game. But that's also pre-Amari Cooper, you know? I mean, this is like you just said, this is a guy that's going to win his routes unless they just say, okay, we're going to take you away and just double him all game.
But you can't do everything.
That's what I'm saying. It is kind of
better have somebody else win.
It is kind of that pick your poison thing now
Yeah.
that Dallas is trying to create here.
I mean, you
Beasley.
can't put an extra guy in the box and double Cooper.
Yeah.
You start running out of guys
No, they'll have a problem with that.
unless 12th man shows up.
Do you make them beat you throwing the football, or do you just hope your offense just scores so many points that it doesn't matter?
I think that may be the determining factor as the game goes along.
Yeah.
Because if they're scoring
Yeah, then you're not.
and the Cowboys,
You're struggling.
Yeah.
You're scuffling along there, and you're not scoring.
But if you're not scoring,
See, that takes you out of the running game, and maybe they feel like that they could beat the Cowboys. They could beat the Cowboys, making Dak Prescott have to throw the ball all game, even though they're very poor in the secondary. You know, that might be their best weapon. Their best weapon might be their offense's ability to score.
Well, and that's if you go
And
back.
you'll know that very early in this game how that's going to go.
62-56.
That's Mickey's score. The Tennessee game was kind of like that, you know.
Yeah.
I think Zeke had 17 touches or carries, and he just didn't have an opportunity in the second half because they couldn't stop Tennessee's offense. And so,
Yeah, running the football just becomes useless.
yeah,
You're just killing the clock for him.
You can't do it.
That's
you know?
why it's going to be imperative that they don't squander scoring opportunities early in the game like they've done in these last 2 games.
Yeah.
No question.
Because the 28 they scored, or 27 against Philadelphia, it could have been 35.
Easily could have been that. That game could have been just a walk, you know.
And maybe we were spoiled
Yeah.
by Bailey. You just can't miss makeable field goals.
Falcons are a different type team than really the Cowboys have faced all year.
At home.
Well, and in that
Offensively? Yeah.
with their passing offense, and I think maybe, even though I agree with you on their secondary and their pass defense, maybe some of those defensive stats are skewed a little bit because teams
Get in a game where they have to catch
they
up.
have to throw
Yeah.
the ball, and they
Yeah.
have, you know, and so
But you know
from that
what,
standpoint, what would concern me if I'm a Falcon fan more so is they're 21st in the league in run defense.
Well, that's because but go back seriously. I think it's 6.02 a carry.
Right.
You know, 20. I mean, that's bad.
Right.
That's bad. I mean,
on first down.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that because I would
5.2
assume
overall.
I don't know how many, and I can look it up real quick.
You
but-
tell me I could get 5.2 yards a carry every time I hand the ball off? I mean, that's yes.
If you told me
Sign
that,
me up.
If you told me that, I'd say they win the game because then Zeke's getting 150 again.
Can you
And
offensively keep this as a low-scoring game?
They are 21st in the league in run defense, and they are just 7th in the number of attempts.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And so that tells you their teams are able to run the ball against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
But you know what?
When teams are limited, when they run the ball, they have success, but teams don't do it nearly enough.
Mm-hmm.
See, on Talking Falcons today, they're worried about your running game. They're worried about Ezekiel Elliott loading up, and then you get no chance on offense. But you better finish those drives. And Mickey's right. You better not be kicking field goals, though, too.
But you know what? On the games they've lost, it's not like teams have had to just throw. The games they've lost, they've given up 43, 37, 41, and 28, and they won one game with 29. So it's not like, the other teams had to throw to catch up because they were beating them so bad. So I just think their pass defense is not very good. And when you give up 5.2 yards a carry, your defense is not very good. Now we're saying all this, and boy, they
We'll
better
see what
take
happens on
advantage
Sunday
of it.
now, because we know what it's like in this league. All right, 888-855-2297, the number to call. We continue on Talking Cowboys in just a moment.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean, fish living there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Tommy John time. A true cowboy loves his freedom, and Tommy John gives you that feeling of freedom where it counts with a contour pouch that nestles you in fabrics, Brian, that you can barely feel.
You picked that one, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was like a poker hand.
Yep, poker
Shop
hand.
exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
All right. Mickey's got his Mizzou on because it's a Friday. And what's Mizzou doing this week, Mickey?
They're playing at Tennessee as a 6-point favorite.
So we have actually one SEC game in which an SEC opponent is playing an SEC opponent.
Does the conference have done that all the time? Like get
SEC
a
does that.
non-conference game.
They do a November
11 or 12 weeks
get ready
into
every
the season.
Get ready next week. Every big game in college football will be an SEC game.
Right,
get ready.
Because they pick one weekend where they're
rivals,
playing
all the
the
rivals.
Citadel and Tennessee Chattanooga.
Yeah, it's
And
a November
UAB, and somebody's got
Samford.
UAB.
A November
and Son.
gimme game against 9-1 UAB for the Aggies. So we'll see how that turns out.
9-1 UAB,
They're
the
pretty good.
Blazers.
They killed their football program for a year and brought it back.
And they
That
beat.
coach-
Who did they just beat? Did they beat SMU or was it North Texas? Who won that game last night?
North
by the way?
Texas.
Or Texas won.
I said I'm not. It was still the third quarter.
Yeah,
It
they
was
started at 8:30.
Yeah, it was a
31.
late start.
Seth
okay.
Luttrell doing a great job there. By the way, Sonny
North
Dykes
Carolina
is
job.
shout out to local college coaches, whatever. Sonny Dykes is doing a great job at SMU.
They got 2 games up here where they can win and maybe get in a bowl game, right?
They can win their division and
They got
play
Tulsa left, right?
And play for their conference
Oh, there we
championship.
go. Yeah.
They play tonight at home against Memphis.
But they would play Central Florida, right?
Well, in
the championship.
Yeah, but
Okay.
at least you're playing in it.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow night on ABC, Central Florida plays Cincinnati. They're doing a group of 5 prime time game tomorrow night.
Cincinnati's not bad.
They're like 9-1, I think.
That shows how weak the college football schedule is this week.
Keep an eye on Cincinnati. Is that game played at Nippert Stadium?
I think SMU beat Cincinnati, and so that's how SMU got into the hunt.
Yeah. Well, so keep an eye on that one.
North Texas lost their quarterback, though.
Last night, Mason
Fine. I think he broke his hand.
Oh, I didn't realize that. He's how tall are you, Mickey?
5'7".
I think he's shorter than you are.
No, he's not.
I think
no
he
one's
is
shorter than I am.
But he's a heck of a quarterback, and so that's why he wound up not being heavily recruited by other, because he had that kind of talent coming out. But he's like 5'6".
Yeah. He ran. So the backup came in and immediately ran for 2 touchdowns. I don't know what happened after that, what the final score was.
All right,
he had not played all year long. College football talk.
You know, Dak Prescott, when he was in college, last week he was talking about the fact that he couldn't remember that he had ever been, what were the Cowboys last week, 3-5?
3-5.
Yeah. Okay, that he can't recall ever in his life being 3-5. So I did some research when he was at Mississippi State.
How long was he at Mississippi State?
He was not 3-5, and I'm doing this off the top of my head. He was either 2-4 or 4-6 one year.
Gotcha.
And then that was the first year that he was a starting quarterback.
Right.
Like halfway through the season, he was 1 or 2 games under 500. And then he went on in Mississippi State, went on a 12-game winning streak from the end of that season to the midseason the following year, and became the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
He didn't start that year, though, that they started 3. He took over, I think.
He had a good number of
like the last 6 or 7 games.
I want to say he had like 10 starts that year, but still, he was the starter when they were at that point, and then he took them on so I did the math on it last week.
Another station looked it up, and they didn't find it until high school.
Oh yeah,
1 year in high school he was 3-5.
Well, so I looked up. All right, he went on a 12-game win streak. So if it happens again, and this was last week. The Cowboys had 8 games left in their regular season, 4 playoff games. If he goes on a 12-game winning streak now, the Cowboys will not only be playing this Sunday in Atlanta, they will be playing later this season in Atlanta in the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl.
There you go.
So there you go.
You're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a chance.
All right.
Let me see how much money I got in my wallet. Bet on a 12-game winning streak.
He did it in college. Why can't he do it in the NFL?
He had an 11-game winning streak, didn't he?
That's right. He already
he did.
Had an 11-game win streak his rookie year.
Mickey's over there betting against him.
Why are you all naysayers?
12 in a row.
12 straight.
Can we start with 2? Can we just get 2?
Well, you can't get to 12 unless you get to 2. So you can't get to Atlanta the second time, the first Sunday in February on CBS with Tony Romo in the booth calling the game, then unless you can get this win on Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
All right.
They better have a bunch of Citadels on the schedule.
I don't think the NFL has any Citadels.
No. Saints are a little better than that.
Yeah, well, you're already looking ahead.
Falcons,
to the
Redskins are all, no gimmies.
All right, where do you want to go? Brian, you got a question. You got something.
Do I?
You want a topic. You got a topic.
No, I just, I was just kind of thinking about, though, this team, and I don't have a topic. I'm just going to try and come up with one here. But I think that, do you feel better? We talk about all of Atlanta's problems on defense, though. But after what you saw in Philadelphia, do you feel a lot better about this offense, or is it still kind of a work in progress in your mind? I know we're 10 games into this thing, or 9 games into this, but do we feel better about it, or how do we feel about this?
I feel better about it, but I need to kind of see it again because, I kept talking on Monday about that drive before the half that was really impressive. They went 73 yards in like 4 or 5 plays and scored a touchdown. Before that, it was very similar to the problems they've had in the past, especially on the road. So I think they're in a better place. I expect Amari Cooper to continue being a featured part of this offense, and I think his rapport with Dak will get better. But we need to see it more than a half, where they're really trading scores and being efficient up and down the football field. We just haven't seen that with consistency this year. But there's encouraging, and that line is encouraging as well. What do you think?
No, I'm with you. I'm encouraged. The thing that the offense doesn't worry me in this game. It's the defense that worries me. And I know that's funny to say considering how well they played, but have we seen some signs though of some big plays being made, some passing plays being made, not enough pressure, not enough sacks. I mean, what are we?
The not enough pressure and sacks, I think, is a concern.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get to this guy, then they're going to rip you.
Yeah, there'll be a problem.
See, I've thought all season I was looking ahead to this stretch, not only Atlanta, but also New Orleans in a couple of weeks, where now we're going to really find out about this Dallas defense. Because and part of that had to do with the Cowboys' offense was not productive the first half of the year. Now, to answer your question, I feel better about this Cowboys offense that they can score some points.
They could play in a shootout then, huh?
That I don't, and that's what we may find out Sunday.
Maybe I got a little overzealous there with the shootout.
Yeah, no, but that's what it's going to be.
I mean, they weren't going to be able to, if they had visions of contending to make the playoffs the way it was going 2 weeks ago, it was not going to happen with what they had. Weapon-wise,
has the defense held you in there long enough? And again, the record is what it is
to give offense to catch up.
Yes, yeah.
For the most
that's what I was going to ask.
For the most part, yes.
We're going to find out Sunday if they can do this 2 weeks in a row because they should have had more points against Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah. A couple bad plays, but they were moving the football.
Should have had more points against Philadelphia.
Yeah. No, Mickey said that. He's absolutely right.
And and just take last night for example. I don't know how many times Aaron Rodgers ended up getting sacked, but it was close to a half a dozen.
Yeah.
You want to know why they lost, right?
Yeah. They missed a field goal.
Yeah, I understand that.
No, I just said
the problem was the quarterback was on his butt. He can't win that way, and right now, there's only one team that's given up more sacks than the Cowboys.
Giants?
No, they're tied with the Giants.
Oh, are they really?
That's never good.
And look, not every sack on Dak is on the line. I mean, Dak sometimes, I think there's been times where he'll tell you maybe he needs to get rid of it, But better job in this last game offensively up front.
Well, why is he holding on to it? Because there's probably no one open. 32 sacks, the Giants 32 sacks, Cleveland 35. That's no way to win ball games.
No. But we feel better about the offense, right?
I think. Yes. But he gave up.
We're not making that up, are we?
But they gave up 4 sacks last week. Now, a couple he ran out of. I think he ran. He's
he's got to throw the ball.
Don't run out.
Don't be
bounds.
foolish. Yeah, don't be foolish that way.
So, how many times has Aaron Rodgers been sacked this year?
Well, I didn't see what last night was.
He was sacked 5 times last night, so he's at 32 sacks now.
We're gonna look back on Aaron Rodgers' career and say he didn't have enough help. One of the greatest we've ever seen, but just didn't have enough.
Did you guys watch the
help.
game last night?
I did not.
A little bit, very little.
Very little, yeah.
He dropped back the pass. The rush was coming. He stepped up, and it was like punt, pass, and kick. He just threw the ball as high and as far as he could before he got smashed. And I think it was Adams.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams.
Ran it down.
Runs underneath it and catches it as the DB stumbling like he had jumped like Ezekiel Elliott. And it's like, how does that happen?
This is a great quarterback.
And I mean, it was a true Hail Mary.
No.
You know how they do the tour here, and they say, how did Roger Staubach complete that pass? He dropped back, closed his eyes, and said a Hail Mary and threw it. No, that's not quite the way it happened. But on that pass, I think that's what Rodgers did.
Nobody's thrown the Hail Mary better in the history of the league than Aaron Rodgers. No, other than the guy who invented it, who, by the way, is getting his Medal of Freedom today, right? Roger?
Oh.
Is that today?
Is it today?
I think it's today. Yeah, those are reports. Anyway.
With Babe Ruth? He's getting one.
He is. Yes. I don't think he's going to be there.
You don't think he's
got
there?
the candy bar. Babe's going to be a little late today.
Cracking himself up over here. Look at this. Look at this.
We can go ahead. Babe will be here a little later. We can mail his to him.
I think there was somebody else that was getting.
There is another athlete. I can't remember now.
Former Vikings defensive lineman
Alan Page.
Yes.
He was a judge.
Yes, Alan Page, the great Alan Page, Purple People Eaters. Very good. Yeah, and so great honor for Roger Staubach.
Absolutely.
Do they? Like,
it extends beyond what he did on the football field.
They have a ceremony, like they show up for it?
That's what I read.
Okay.
It was supposed to be
Go
this
to
Friday.
Washington do this, don't you? President puts it around your neck and all that stuff?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And now that you mentioned Roger Staubach, let me take you back to 1971 when the Cowboys did the quarterback shuffle.
Him and Craig Morton.
He and Craig Morton.
Chicago?
A 23-19 loss at Soldier Field in Chicago. And then Tom Landry decided that Staubach would be the starter the rest of the year. And what the Cowboys do the rest of the year?
They won them all.
10 straight wins to get to the Super Bowl. And so the reason I bring that up
Suafilo?
it gets back to not to Dak Prescott winning 12 straight and winning the Super Bowl, but the importance in the second half of the year of getting on a roll. And this is the time of the year right now that if the Cowboys, they have this dream that even with the reshuffling of the roster and all that stuff, rebuilding, however you want to phrase it, that they could still contend this year. Well, it's all built for this right now, and they've got their destiny in their hands right now going into Atlanta this week and then Washington and so forth with what's happening in this division. If they can get on a roll right now. Now, my question is, can they?
Can they?
We're going to find out.
No, you got to give an answer here. You got to try and give an answer. Offensively, I feel better about this team.
And I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm saying to get to the playoffs.
How about to win the division?
Yeah, right.
Yes, I feel better about their opportunities with the addition of Amari Cooper and the change at the offensive line coach. And I just hope that we see a similar game plan. I hope we see a similar aggressiveness with the way that things are working. And I know the defense they've leaned on this defense all year. Now it's time for the offense in the second half to pick things up. You're going to be in some games. You're going to be in some games. And Bill, you said it. You're going to be in some games. You can outscore Washington. Washington's proven to me that they can't score points. They can't.
Mm-hmm.
But they're playing a great recipe of football. Run and play defense. That's what that's how you have to play. But now it's time for Dallas to take advantage of adding Amari Cooper and some of these receivers stepping up. Michael Gallup stepping up.
Right.
The offensive line. I love the addition of Mark Colombo as the offensive line coach. I think he brings a toughness to that group. And maybe you found something with Suafilo here playing the guard. So I'm going to and Ezekiel, nice taste in his mouth after last week. Get him going again. Get him going where it's every week. It's like, oh, damn, we have to deal with that. If you're an opponent, let's not be this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, you're not out there alone because it was pointed out to me that Troy Aikman, after setting the place on fire a week ago, basically picked him to win the division this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it is. Bill's right. It's possible.
I don't know what to make of that, by the way.
That's kind of a 180, isn't it?
I really don't know. I
scrap the whole organizational structure. They're going to the playoffs.
I love Troy Aikman. I really do.
I didn't hear it, but I was told that's what happened.
I respect the hell out of him. I think he does a great job. But I'm kind of one of those guys who's like, my friend, you had a can of gas in your hand, and now you're driving the fire truck to the scene.
It's an example though of this league and how
week to week
it's such a week to week thing. And it seemed like after that Tennessee loss,
48 hours to 48 hours.
I know.
I mean, what?
But okay, keep in mind that was a Monday night game. Tennessee. He does his radio hit on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And Troy Aikman, in many ways, is just like the rest of us. On the heels of a game like that where the team just did not show up in the second half of that game, you're sitting there going, this whole organization needs to be blown.
That was interesting.
And then you turn around on Sunday night at Philadelphia and you win, and then you look at what else is going on in the division, and wait a second, because they can be in first place by Thanksgiving night.
He's right. Like Philly plays,
but I would have respected him if he wouldn't have gone for the flip.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I don't think you could be that extreme.
But his most recent point is right. I mean,
there's no question But if that was his original point, hey, no, I have time. Even after how bad Dallas played on Monday night, and he would have come out and said, "No, Dallas can still win the division."
Maybe he believes both things. You know, this is a bad division. They may go win this division, but
I think that's why you went and got that receiver.
Yeah,
that's right.
It is why.
Which is why, as a coaching staff and as players, whatever, you got to keep your wits about you as you go along through this thing, because
there's 3 more division games.
There's valleys, there's mountains, and it's a roller coaster. Or it can be. You try to limit the roller coaster. You want to just be on a upward ascent.
Philly plays the Saints this week.
Yes, Houston's at Washington. Giants have got Tampa, I think, at home.
Big game in Atlanta. You can all of a sudden, you can cover
right.
some major ground and then play the division leaders on Thanksgiving.
Regardless of what happens.
Captain Obvious here today?
I know they're all must win. I got
No.
you.
I'm not trying to. I wasn't getting on you about that, but it's must win. A big game, isn't it?
I said it with my Captain Obvious grin on my face. It is a huge game. Absolutely, it's a huge game.
Lose this game, over?
No, but the odds decrease significantly. Plus, it pokes the air out of the balloon that you just blew up last week.
Are we due for a letdown then? After being feeling so good about this football team all week?
What did you say last week?
That's why you have to be playing consistently.
Yeah.
Brian, why did you pick the Cowboys last week?
Well, because I was desperate, and Mickey and I won an award for fighting about that on the Happy Hour show.
But see, there's my point. You can't be emotionally up and down and up and down and, my back's halfway through the wall. Now I got to play harder. You got to play hard every week.
Yeah.
And you can't. That's what I was trying. You weren't listening to me. You got to be.
No,
you weren't. You weren't. Because my point was, you have to emotionally. You have to be consistent.
No. To me,
you have to play consistently.
To me, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But I also understand, though, that you have to have that in your mind. Now, I think maybe what I misunderstood, you were saying more, Mickey, that night was more about you can't give that same speech.
Right. You can't come into the locker room and say, okay, we got to go. If we don't win this game, and then you win, and the next week you come in and go, we got to win this game, because you can't do that every week.
I think the players have to have that feeling in them, though.
Well, they should have it every week when you're 0-0.
Well, they're 4-5.
Well, that's almost 0-0.
If they don't feel that this week, then shame on them. But their season is clearly on the line.
But you know what? If you go in that locker room, that's what they were saying. We're focusing on Atlanta. Last week doesn't matter,
Yeah.
And Zeke said it. Our backs are still against the wall. Right. And they are.
And it will be Thanksgiving if they win Sunday, and they will be the following week.
The rest of the way until they're eliminated.
Until they're playing in Atlanta in the Super Bowl the first Sunday in February.
Last week their backs were halfway through the drywall.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for a break now?
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to find out in a moment. We're going to find out in a moment if we can come to an agreement on what the Cowboys are going to do in Atlanta on Sunday.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yep. And now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yep, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to the break.
Talking Cowboys, that would be. And let me see what I have here on Talking Cowboys. Want to you what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker 4JB Faves plus a full-size lip balm for $10. Free shipping. And you got to go to getjackblack.com. Use that code Cowboys.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, we got some new holiday reads for Talking Cowboys. In fact, we did our last high school show of the season last night on Tostitos Plaza over there, just outside Ford Center here on the Star campus. And the Christmas tree is all ready to go. They were testing out the lights, the blue lights, and they're going to have the Christmas lighting ceremony on Friday. And join us every Friday and Saturday night this holiday season for Christmas at the Star, presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb. The Christmas Spectacular starts November 23rd, which is 1 week from today on Black Friday. It includes performances from your favorite Dallas Cowboys entertainment. Mickey, you're going to be out there.
I am.
Admission and parking are free. Visit thestarinfrisco.com for details. Are you going to really be out there?
Didn't even know it was going on.
All right.
So
Christmas
the
at the
lighting
Star
is next Friday.
Yep, the Christmas lighting. CBS 11 in Dallas is doing an hour-long show from 6 to 7 o'clock. I think the actual lighting...
So you're going to be out there.
I'm actually not going to be out there. I'm off that day. But 6:22 on Friday is when the lighting takes place. Christmas at the Star. It's so festive out
Why
there.
6:22?
I don't know. They just...
Is that when the sun goes down or something?
No, the sun is down by 6:22. I think that's because it's sportscast time on CBS 11 at 6:22.
Yeah, there you go.
So they'll blow us out. We won't have a sportscast. So
that's why you're.
But
off.
if you haven't been to the Star, and now that we're a couple of years into this, the restaurants are great over there. It's a terrific place. Of course, you got the Omni there. If you're coming in from out of town, stay there, and it's just a great place. And it's just amazing how the whole area out here is building up. Even in the last year, this stuff that's been built, condos and everything, and office complexes that are north of the Star, this is really the place to be out here.
Absolutely.
So the tree's up.
The tree is up. In fact, it was an all-day affair yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
And into the morning, they were just starting it. Yeah.
And the stars on top, or whatever the little thing they top the tree with.
Yep.
Do they have decorations on it, or they're just lights?
Not yet. They didn't last night.
It's up, but no decorations.
They might need your help, Mickey. Why don't you go out there? You and Bill.
That's all right.
Yeah, get the bottom tree limb.
Get the bottom part?
Yeah.
Okay, who did Douglas say we had?
Adam in Atlanta.
Adam in Atlanta. Oh, in Atlanta.
Going behind enemy territory.
Adam, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
There's an Atlanta, Texas, by the way,
There is, that's right. Is it Atlanta, Texas, or Georgia?
This is Georgia, Atlanta,
Okay,
Georgia.
Good.
Hey, guys. Hey, appreciate everything you guys do. Excited to call the show. Mickey, I'm going to be at the meet and greet and Q&A tomorrow, so looking forward to meeting you, sir.
All right. I'll shake your hand. Shake mine, please.
Yeah, nice. Question I have for you, Broadus, and I asked the other show this earlier this week. Something I saw during watching the All-22 for the Philly game is I'm noticing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm noticing these receivers aren't very good at on the scramble drill. When Dak's outside the pocket and looking for somebody to throw to under duress, I don't see these receivers coming off their routes trying to come back for the ball. Is that something you're seeing a trend of, or something that you feel like we can get better at?
They have to get better at that. There's no question. Even watching the TV copy last week, during the game, there were a couple of times where Dak was scrambling around and they were struggling to try and find some space. That was the one thing that, you talk about a bunch of things that Terrence Williams couldn't do. That was one of the things he was pretty good at. It was finding that space. So, it's always something that you can improve. There's this team, the team that they're going to play this week in the Falcons, I think are one of the best that I've seen when it comes to Matt Ryan starts running with the football, and then those guys go and find space. So, obviously, it's something that the Cowboys are going to have to worry about defensively. And when it happens to them offensively, they've got to get better. Got to get better. You got to find space. You got to try and help your quarterback the best you can.
It's funny he brought that up because they had a touchdown on that. The ball came out of his hands. Cooper was coming up.
Yeah.
And he turned around and went back, and he had about a 3 or 4 yard lead, and he's got his hand up like, throw me
Is that
the
when
ball.
they blew out the guy's knee? Is that when they blew out Darby's knee?
Maybe.
It might have been where he got hurt.
Maybe because he was covering him.
Right.
And Dak's rolling to his right, and he's getting ready to load up and throw, and the ball comes out of his hand.
Yeah.
And then he picked it up on one bounce and then
threw it
out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was, and he
That
talked
was
about it
Darby,
yesterday.
yeah.
He talked about it yesterday, and he goes, "Oh yeah, we had a touchdown." He goes, he goes, for whatever reason, I don't know if my hand was wet, what the deal was, but the ball just kind of squeezed right out of my hand.
Yeah.
I suggested he take a little air out of the ball and be able to hold it better.
Tom Brady tactic.
But Cooper did it.
Yeah.
Whatever the guy was talking about, he did it.
That's again the difference maker, you say. But you look overall. Maybe some of these things where he was scrambling around instead of getting sacked or pulled down or whatever, they could have done a little bit better for him on. But that's something you can always improve on.
Yeah.
That's just something that's as Jason Garrett likes to say, time on task.
See, and that was one of the things Witten was really good at too.
Yeah.
Not that he was making big plays, but he knew
find a spot
where to go.
The touchdown. I know we're going back 2 years, but the overtime win against the Eagles here, where Dak threw. I mean, that was just a scramble play where
Romo just begged the balls on the ground, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Witten just kind of sat down in the end zone, found a spot.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do that more consistently.
The funny thing about that play that you're talking about, Darby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I was looking for, but somebody put on YouTube with the title, "Here's how the Cowboys tore Darby's knee."
Yeah.
And I was like, what are they talking about? And they showed the
They
play.
showed the play,
and
yeah.
it wasn't like they did anything. It's like he was
just-
coming up and he turned around and went the other way when he pivoted.
Yeah, he's just saying they're
blew
probably
out his
saying
knee.
the way that
I know, but
he
it
ran
was
around.
it's like it's a good thing he's not a headline writer.
Exactly.
Whoever did it.
Okay, as we approach Sunday and Saturday at 3 o'clock, you think it's all going to depend on Antoine Woods, whether Christian Ringo or a roster move has to be made?
We get Garrett here in a few minutes, right? So I don't know.
So who's expendable? One of those special teams
and
guys?
keep in mind what happened last Saturday. Noah Brown and Lance Lenore both became active players on Saturday.
How great do you feel
and
right
Deontay
now?
Thompson was let go.
How great do you feel about David Irving playing anymore?
I think you got to hang on to that.
Every time I hear a conversation about that, not a conversation off campus, but a conversation when the head coach is asked about him, it doesn't seem like, oh no, he's making progress. He's coming. It seems very. You've got some guys. I mean, you've got how healthy can Tavon Austin be? Do you continue to wait for that? Is Tavon Austin something you're going to use in December? With the way this group it currently is.
At some point, you get Terrence Williams back at wide receiver.
Well, I don't think that's happening. That's not going to happen. No.
I mean, he's eligible.
He's eligible, right?
Eligible,
right? So I think it's your kind of you've got some guys that that are hurt and I think are trying to come back, but are you really going to count on them to come back?
Does Tavon fit into your plans?
That's what I'm thinking.
With the receiving core you have now.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think you're bringing Tavon Austin back next year.
Are the rules when it's your own practice squad player like Lance Lenore? They do not have to stay.
No,
so you could do a Lance Lenore back to the practice
or
squad
Noah
release,
Brown.
and then.
Well, they like Lance Lenore playing special teams and stuff.
Right.
They like him kind of coming out, him and Noah Brown.
Why'd you pick Lance Lenore?
Just because he was on the practice squad, and and Noah Brown wasn't on the practice squad, right? He was on injured reserve and came back.
They can't.
So he was. teams could have plucked him already, right. Lance Lenoir,
right,
and they didn't,
right,
or they had a deal in place here where
yes.
they.
Noah Brown got practice squad eligibility.
Let's go. He's not going to get there. They couldn't get him through. There's no way.
Because
he's got too much talent, ability.
We got 30 seconds.
All right, pick.
I won't get into it then.
62-56.
34-31 Cowboys.
Oh, all week you said 62-56.
Well, I know. That's going to be my gut feeling.
Pick.
26-24 Cowboys. Take the click, Michael Gallup back home.
That's my pick to click.
Well, pick it.
Yeah, I'm going to go against the team here. I just feel like that the Cowboys, I just don't feel like they're going to be able to handle the Falcons passing game. I think it's going to turn into a track meet. I don't think Dallas can keep up in a track meet. I'm going to go with the Falcons are going to 31-21 for the Falcons.
That's fair.
I'm going 31-21 Cowboys.
Okay, I hope everybody's right here.
Somehow, some way.
Hope you're all right.
Somehow, some way.
I'm just trying to catch you in our weekly standings. That's what I'm going to try to do.
62-56.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I hope all you guys are right.
All right, we got Jason Garrett coming up. Enjoy the game on Sunday, and we'll be back for an abbreviated Thanksgiving week next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.